Alright, today I would like to talk about the Denon Professional Envoi. It is a 10-inch battery-powered speaker that comes with one wireless receiver. Now on mine, I have bought the second wireless receiver, and I do have two handheld mics for it. I am going to be buying the belt pack so that I can do a lavalier mic or headset mic. It does have a full mixer on the back, RCA ins, headphone in, two extra wired mic inputs, combo jacks with 1/4 inch. It does have Bluetooth. Bluetooth doesn't work the best, but if you've watched any of my other videos, I don't care how good the Bluetooth is, I never rely on it. Always have a hardwired cord, unless it's a simple backyard party and you're just wanting to play some tunes. Then I will use the Bluetooth. But if it's, mission critical, you're doing a wedding ceremony, I don't care how good the speaker is, I don't care how good your phone is, I will not trust someone's wedding ceremony to Bluetooth. It's got to be a hardwired connection. There are other videos on YouTube, other reviews of this thing. I've watched them. Most of them are negative, and I'm not going to disagree with what they have to say about the speaker. I do agree with most of it. One thing I always preach, though, is know the limitations of your sound system. You're not going to bring a 12-inch sub to a dubstep show and expect everybody to feel the vibrating bass. You're going to blow up the 12-inch sub. With that same thought process, this is a $600 unit. I think MAP is $599. There are some B-stock ones out there for around $400. You're getting a 10-inch speaker that's battery powered with a full mixer on the back, a wireless transmitter and receiver for $600. That's a lot to get for $600, considering some of the wireless mics I buy alone are $600. Now if I spend $600 on a wireless mic, I expect it to work good. Here I'm getting the whole unit for $600. There's obviously going to be less quality because you're getting a lot more for that price. I think Sennheiser has a really expensive one. I've never used the Sennheiser one. I've never used Anchor Audio or any of the other ones that are pretty expensive. Price point wise, at $600. This kind of fits right in the area of where it's just good enough to be useful for a pro audio company, and at a price that makes sense. Would I go out? I think the Sennheiser one's like $2,600, and then you have to buy the wireless unit separate. Would I go out and buy that? No, because I just don't have enough demand for that. This thing maybe goes out once a month, maybe twice a month. We use it a couple times here and there for our stuff, and then we also rent it out. It just doesn't go out enough to make sense in spending that much money on something that just wouldn't have the return on investment. This thing's got a great return on investment, but you got to know how to use it. Are you going to set this up and walk around an entire venue with the wireless mic? No, you are not. If you're doing a ceremony, put this 10-15 feet away from the bride and groom and have the mics by them. It'll work fine. I used to rent this out to a buddy of mine who liked to put it in the back of the room, and he would say, man, that speaker just doesn't work, man. It cuts out. The wireless mics just aren't good enough, and if you put the speaker 50 feet away from the people that are talking, it's going to cut out, because this thing doesn't have a $600 wireless unit in it. If you want something that has the quality of a $600 wireless unit, go buy a $600 wireless unit. You're buying a $600 speaker. Obviously, it's not going to be premium quality. But if you know how to use it, it will work for you. Stay within 20 feet if you're using the wireless mic. do not use the Bluetooth. They could have just left the Bluetooth out of this thing. It's that bad. Like you can, unless you just prop your phone right up here, right in the little cradle up here, and just let it play, that's probably fine. But at that point, why not just have a 3-foot headphone to RCA cord and just plug it in and know you're going to be fine for the whole event? That's what I opt to do. So if I use this for a ceremony, I set it within 15-20 feet of the bride and groom. I have a 25-foot headphone to RCA, so it put me right on the outside in the front row, and I can flip through the music. Everything works fine. I haven't really used a whole lot of other brands of battery-powered speakers, so I can't really compare. I've been tempted. Alto Professional has one I've been tempted to try out. But for me, and knowing how this works, it works good for me. And I know how to use the thing. I know what its limitations are, and I stay within those limitations. And everything goes fine. So I'm actually looking at getting a second one of these. I'm making this review very late in the product cycle on this, which a lot of my reviews will be off of things we've had for 6 months to a year. I'm not 100% sure, but I suspect this is getting discontinued. Either that or everybody's really stopping carrying them because they're poor sellers. I'm not quite sure, but I do have one, a B stock, in my shopping cart right now because it's like $380. I'd love to have a second one with 2 mics in it, just because, to me it's a good speaker. And I'm not saying everybody else doesn't know how to use it. I'm not saying it's user error. What I'm saying is there's limitations because it's not a high-end speaker system. It's not a really crappy speaker system either. It's somewhere kind of right in the middle. Quality and there's always a price to performance ratio, and this thing has the right price, but the performance is kind of it's okay. If you know how to use it, it'll work. If you don't, you're gonna get frustrated really fast. If you're looking for something where you can have your audio gear in the back of the room and a wireless mic in the front, this is not the system for you. If you're looking to be able to run around a venue with the wireless mic, this isn't for you. If you need to Bluetooth, this is definitely not for you. But I like it. It works for me. I would definitely recommend buying it. I will say one issue that we have had with this, so far, it's worked good. There was one time I was thinking, man, the audio sounds really weird, and I was putting my ear up to it and the compression driver wasn't working. So I ended up taking it apart, checking the wires. I thought, maybe something got jostled in the back of a vehicle and a wire got loose, so I was just going to solder it back together, but all the connections were fine. I didn't know what was wrong with it, so I ended up kind of laying it on its back, and I just kind of let it just thump down like that, and the compression driver instantly kicked in and started working, and it worked again for months, and then one day it went out again, and I did that again, and it worked. So I don't know if it's something loose internally in the compression driver, if there's something loose inside the amp module. I'm not quite sure. That's the one problem I've had, and a little thump sometimes if you can't figure it out, seems to fix things. But anyways, if you have any questions, throw them down in the comment section. If you know of anything else in the $600 price range when it comes to a battery-powered speaker with the ability to have 2 wireless microphones, let me know. If there's something better out there, I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to get it in our rental inventory. Until next time.